appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Ebulomo Adekunle. In our major story, APC governors under the aegis of Progressives Governors Forum meet in Ilorin back consensus candidacy. Also in this program, Kano State Governor Rabiu Kwakwanso vows not to step down from his presidential bid once APC over consensus candidacy. Nigeria police takes talk of armory as insecurity powers. Nigeria, United States examines video showing militants in control of U.S. weapons intended for Syrian cause. Now the details. The governors of All Progressives Congress under the aegis of the Progressives Governors Forum has condemned in strong terms the dwindling allocation coming to states from the federal account. Rising from a meeting in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, the governors asked the federal government to make available to states the allocation in order not to ground governance. They also back consensus candidacy with their party's primary just around the corner. Rashid was in Ilorin and filed in this report.
With the raising of the alarm by the governor of Niger State over the inability of the federal government to make available the October allocation to states, the Progressive Governors Forum laments the dwindling monthly federal allocation and calls on the federal government to provide the money to avoid breakdown of governance in their states.
Again, we looked at the dwindling resources of the states coming from FAC and our monthly allocation, and which has made it imperative that most states may not afford to pay salaries as a result of these dwindling resources. We refuse to accept the fact that this nation is broke. What is due to states as revenue should be paid to the states. This idea of cutting down what should go to states does not in any way promote democracy and democratic dividends.
The APC governors also endorsed the much-touted consensus candidacy expected to be settled for by the leadership of the party in arriving at its presidential candidate for the 2015 presidential election.
Our forum is in full support of consensus as one of the ways to produce our presidential candidate or any candidate in the party for as long as is done with regards to respect to internal democracy. There was no imposition in our party, and our party has not adopted any candidate yet, neither has the Governors Forum adopted any candidate. But we shall encourage consensus and dialogue within the leadership of the party.
The governors unanimously expressed full support for the party leadership and vowed to take over the reign of power at the center come 2015.
So we, the APC governors, are in full support of the activities of our party and assures Nigerians that we shall provide for them a credible presidential candidate that will steer the affairs of this nation in 2015.
This is coming against the backdrop of the state governors alleging starvation of funds by the federal government, and the federal government also denying that the nation is broke. Nigerians, as usual, are watching the development with keen interest. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilorin.
The Progressives Governors Forum also held a valedictory session for former Governor of Ekiti State, Kayode Fayemi, who stepped down from the helms of affairs on the 16th of October 2014. Here again is Rashid with the report.
In an emotion-laden speech delivered by the chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Rochas Okorocha, on behalf of his colleagues, Fayemi was praised for his maturity during the post-election period in Ekiti till his last day as the governor of the state.
On behalf of the governors of all the Progressive Congress, salute you for a commendable show of character and a successful tenure in office, having handed over the office to the Ekiti State Governor on Thursday, 16th October 2014. Acknowledging that you have great vision for the state with the achievements you recorded.
Fayemi thanked the forum for the opportunity given to him to serve while in their midst as a governor and deeming it fit to hold a session in his honor.
For the solidarity that you've extended to me as a member of this forum and as a governor of Ekiti State. It's a real privilege to serve our people in any capacity.
The governors, while bidding their former colleague a goodbye, assured him of their unflinching support.
Let me assure you on behalf of the Progressive Governors that you are one of us and will remain with us. JKF, I want to say to you, we love you. We shall still be with you. And the spirit of the Progressive is remain unshakable. And together, we shall continue to work for the benefit of the common man of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
On behalf of Ekiti APC supporters, Fayemi again thanked the forum as he stated that APC business in the politics of the country has just started.
On my part and on the part of our members from Ekiti State, we're grateful to this forum. We're grateful to you for the consistent role you have played as beacons of democracy. And I can say with every certainty that the best is yet to come for this party.
Though out as a governor, the assurance given by the forum will, in the eyes of political watchers at the Ilorin meeting, serve as a bond and inspiration that he remains a key figure in the scheme of things as far as politics in the APC is concerned. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ilorin.
Kano State Governor and presidential aspirant on the platform of the All Progressives Congress, Rabiu Kwankwaso, says he's not under pressure to step down or accept a consensus arrangement. He maintained that presidential primary is the best way to pick an acceptable candidate, while again noting that the opposition lost previous presidential elections because of its process of choosing flag bearers. The Kano State Governor, who spoke with a select team of journalists in his office, enjoined the APC leadership to avoid the mistake of adopting a consensus presidential candidate.
Soliciting a question for this consensus. Many of them haven't put in mind that when people go and sit down, they give it to their candidate. That's consensus for them. That's the main issue. And I believe that we have to make this party very strong. All candidates or all aspirants should go around the country and bring more hands, more people, and that's exactly what we are doing. In the last few weeks, so many people joined the APC because of me, and they will continue to join, especially if I have a ticket. Most of the guys in the PDP, the good ones are my friends, and certainly once I declare and get a ticket, they will either cross APC or stay there and work for me. strength that I have, it's not only APC that will vote, even PDP itself will vote in the general election. Many of them will want to cross to APC, but many of them are also hooked there for one reason or the other. They want to move. But they have us. So the amendment to do the primary election in line with the provisions of the APC constitution. So we are on the same page.
Political parties across the divide have been very active as preparations ahead the 2015 general elections intensify. Aspirants for various positions in all the parties have also been picking up declaration of intent and nomination forms as the 2015 general elections draw near. Aspirants for different positions have been picking up their forms, and the situation is not different in the camp of the Lagos APC, as its Vice Chairman Funsho Logunde says all is set to ensure the success of the party in the 2015 general elections.
We already have a membership register that we will use to conduct the primaries, and the party leadership is already putting together measures to set up committees to lay on the necessary arrangements for the primaries. There are two forms that are being sold to aspirants. The first form is the declaration of intention form, and then the second form is the nomination form. At the end of the day, not all the people that collected declaration of intention forms would come round to apply for the nomination forms and complete them duly and return. So there may be, it will not be out of place to have a discrepancy, to have more nomination forms sold. I mean, to have more declaration of intention forms sold than nomination forms.
A cross-section of Nigerians of northern extraction say the Northern Elders Forum does not have the mandate of the region to stop President Jonathan from contesting 2015 presidential elections. Speaking at a news conference in Abuja, the group known as Transformation Agenda Solidarity Forum likened statements credited to the Northern Elders as a threat to the corporate existence of the country. The group also insisted that President Goodluck Jonathan had done well to deserve a second term in office.
Northerners are not in any way against the re-election of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR. And they are not even the latest threat or blackmail by Professor Ango Abdullahi and co-travelers can stop the president from presenting himself for a well-deserved re-election come 2015. Indeed, TASOP and good Nigerians support the endorsement of President Ebele Jonathan by all PDP governors and all PDP stakeholders.
Senate President David Mark has dismissed reports that the People's Democratic Party Integration Committee for the Southwest is plotting to impose a governorship candidate on the Oyo State chapter of the party. A group of PDP members named Rescue Team 2015 had claimed that the David Mark-led Integration Committee was keen on imposing a candidate on the state. Speaking at a meeting with PDP leaders from Oyo State at the banquet hall of the presidential villa in Abuja, the Senate's president insisted that the committee had no interest in choosing a flag bearer for them. He informed the gathering that party members in the state are to choose a candidate they are convinced is popular enough to defeat the incumbent governor. Members of the Board of Trustees of the People's Democratic Party are in Kaduna for what some party members described as a peace mission ahead of the 2015 general elections. Speaking at a meeting with key stakeholders of the party at the Government House, PDP BOT Chairman Tony Anene said the delegation was in the state to unite the party. There had been rancor in the party fold over the 2015 general elections, and considering the strength of the opposition, the PDP leader advised the party members to close rank.
You can only maintain that status if there is peace and unity. Am I right? Yes. If there is spirit of forgiveness, the spirit of give and take, and I'm very happy to see the quality of crowd here. If Edo has this number of quality people, I will not be in politics. So, either you come to Edo State and be my brothers and sisters there, so that I also will sleep with my two eyes closed. On a more serious note, we had visited many states for the zonal rallies, singing one song: unity, peace, understanding, performance. Today, by the grace of God, this will be the first time for a party to have a sole candidate for the presidential race. It is because of you and because of your colleagues in the party in other states. You should be seen to be taking the lead, because those days, Kaduna was like the Northern Star.
Ahead of the 2015 general elections, the Independent National Electoral Commission has advised members of the public to shun the temptation of double registration. INEC gave this advice in a statement by its head of protocol and publicity in Rivers State, Antonia Umobi, on Wednesday. It warned that double registration remained an offense punishable by law. The Commission said it would begin the issuance of permanent voters' card in the 4,442 polling units in Rivers State on Friday, November 7, and end the exercise on Sunday, November 9, 2014. It directed those that had lost their temporary voters' card to go to the polling units with their national identity card, international passport, or driving license. House of Representatives approves Jonathan's $1 billion loan requests to fight Boko Haram. Join us for the details after this timeout. Stay with us.
As a doctor, I've seen lots of mothers. Now, I'm one myself. Other mothers have taught me things only a mother could know. But when it came to relieving their baby's pain and fever, many mothers don't know what to do. So I told them about Panadol Children. Panadol Children is fast and effective, and it can be taken from when they're 3 months old. I'm still learning to be a mother, and it's getting better every day. New Panadol Children, fast and effective relief from pain and fever.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe, and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it, don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Thank you for being there, and if you're just joining us, here are some of the stories that made our headlines. APC governors under the aegis of Progressives Governors Forum meet in Ilorin, back consensus candidacy. Kano State Governor Rabiu Kwakwanso vows not to step down from his presidential bid, warns APC over consensus candidacy. Nigerian police take stock of armament as incident happens. And for more, you can reach us on our social media platform on Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News, on Twitter at CoreTV News NG, and on YouTube, youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space, then News. President Goodluck Jonathan has performed a minor reshuffle of the cabinet to fill the vacancies created by ministers who resigned to seek elective positions. The Minister of State 2 for Foreign Affairs, Nuruddin Mohammed, now takes over as the Supervising Minister of Information, pending the appointment of a replacement for Labaran Maku. Minister of Special Duties, Taminu Turaki, is to add the Ministry of Labour and Productivity to schedule, while Minister of State 1 for Foreign Affairs, Viola Onwuliri, takes over as the Substantive Minister of State for Education. The Minister of Niger Delta Affairs, Stephen Oru, will combine his responsibilities with those of the Minister of State in the same ministry. Same Minister of Trade and Investment Olusegun Aganga and Defense Minister Ali Gusau, who will have to fill roles vacated by their Ministers of State. The House of Representatives has approved President Goodluck Jonathan's request for a $1 billion loan to fight insurgency in the country. This was after considering the report of the joint committees that was mandated to look into the request. The committees urged the House to ensure that the government does not borrow more than the amount it said it's required to fight national security challenge, and the members subsequently approved it. The Senate approved the loan request several weeks ago. The police authorities have begun a nationwide audit of all its armories. This, according to the police, is to review the current state of arms and ammunition at all commands, formations, units and stations. Police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu said in a statement that it was based on a directive from Inspector General of Police Sulaiman Abba. He added that the move is part of measures to strengthen accountability of the stock of weaponry of the Nigerian police. The Nigerian police have set up a task force on cattle rustling and associated crimes. The team is to be headed by an assistant commissioner of police and will have tactical units in each of the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. Police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu says the task force is saddled with the responsibility of preemptive intelligence gathering as well as engaging in anti-cattle rustling and allied crimes patrols. It is also to carry out investigation and possibly prosecute reported incidents of cattle rustling. The latest police move comes against the backdrop of recent cases of cattle rustling in northern Nigeria that have led to clashes between farmers and herdsmen. A federal high court in Abuja has fixed December 1st for judgment in the extradition request filed by the federal government against the former managing director of the Nigeria Security, Printing and Minting Company, Ehidi Okoyomon. The government is seeking to extradite Okoyomon to Britain to face trial over an alleged bribery case, but the accused person, through his counsel, Alex Izion, is challenging the court's jurisdiction. Izion insists that the court has no reference point in Nigeria where it can draw strength to grant the application. The prosecution, however, argues that there are valid grounds to extradite the former Mint helmsman to Britain. Okoyomon's extradition is being sought by the British government over his alleged role in the 750 million naira bribery allegation involving central bank officials, the Mint and an Australian firm Securrency between 2006 and 2008.
Our ground for the objections of the first case was that if you look at the existing law, there is no domesticated treaty between the United Kingdom and Nigeria on extradition. And that if you take a cursory look at all the provisions, except it's clear, you cannot do an extradition just that way. That was the crux of our objection and the substance of our own main case, which they responded. I think that was really the issue today. Where they said we have a extradition treaty of 1931, and we said 1966 repealed that. And under our law, constitution, before you enter into any treaty, before that treaty can become binding, it must be domesticated by our own local law, by our constitution. They become part of our law.
The matter is already in open court, and you have seen what we have argued on about. So what am I going to say again?
The Federal Executive Council has approved a revision of the estimated total cost for two sections of the East-West Road project to 23.4 billion naira. Supervising Minister of Information Nuruddin Mohammed disclosed this at the end of the meeting presided over by President Goodluck Jonathan. Mohammed, who is the Minister of State for his Foreign Affairs, and his Niger Delta counterpart, Steve Oru, said the contract has a completion period of 7 months.
Cost 2 for the East-West Road project, sections 1 and 2, subsections 1.1 and 2, subsections 2.1 and 2.2 in the sum of 23,484,369,831 naira 99 kobo, inclusive of all taxes in favor of Messias Satraco Nigeria Limited, with a completion period of 7 months.
The East-West Road, as you are aware, is the flagship project of the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, from Warri through Port Harcourt to Oron. And the original plan was for the road to be divided into 4 sections. What you are now hearing about the 5th section from Oron to Calabar is meant to further go beyond what was the original plan of the East-West Road, so that it covers the whole length from Warri, instead of stopping at Oron, goes on to Calabar. By the end of this year, at least most of one section of the East-West Road, the original East-West Road, from Warri to Port Harcourt, from there to Eket and Oron, will be eventually completed because section.
Also, the federal government approved a $12 million contract for a flight simulator with complete accessories for the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology in Zaria, Kaduna State. The simulator, which will be located at the Murtala Muhammad Airport in Lagos, would, according to government officials, serve the dual purpose of training and revenue generation.
The Minister of Aviation tabled a memorandum to seek Council's approval for the award of contract for the supply and installation of full jet flight simulator 5000 Series B737 with complete accessories for the Nigerian College of Aviation Technology, NCAT, Zaria, to be located at the Murtala Muhammad Airport in Lagos. The project will be funded from the sum of 3,341,000,000 provided in the 2014 appropriation of the Ministry for the procurement of the simulator for NCAT Zaria.
Simulator, the 737 Next Generation Simulator, is a requirement for pilots that fly the 737 to remain for their recurrency training. The training is a post-graduation requirement of students of Zaria. So when you have graduated as a pilot and you start flying the 737, you need to get recurrency training every 6 months, which currently they go abroad to do. So this is being done by the airlines. So to make sure that the simulator is in a place where the airlines can use it maximally, it is being placed in Lagos, so that most of the operators and their technical crew, together with the oversight function of the NCAA, can overlook the training and the recurrence training of these pilots in Lagos.
An early morning fire on Wednesday destroyed part of the offices of the Nigerian Legion in Ikoyi. The fire, according to eyewitnesses, started from the conference hall of the building, which also houses the Ikoyi Federal Marriage Registry and the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps Office. Officials of the Legion, the Marriage Registry, and the NSCDC declined comment on the inferno. We'll take another break now and return with business, sports and stories outside Nigeria. Don't go away.
As a doctor, I've seen lots of mothers. Now, I'm one myself. Other mothers have taught me things only a mother could know. But when it came to relieving their baby's pain and fever, many mothers don't know what to do. So I told them about Panadol Children. Panadol Children is fast and effective, and it can be taken from when they're 3 months old. I'm still learning to be a mother, and it's getting better every day. New Panadol Children, fast and effective relief from pain and fever.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
And now to business. Do you remember the launch of Bank Verification Number, BVN, project which gives each bank customer a unique identity? Well, this was in collaboration with the Bankers Committee and the Central Bank of Nigeria earlier this year. The CBN now wants the Deposit Money Banks, DMB, to comply strictly with the process of enrollment of the customers on BVN. All DMBs are required to enroll at least 40% of their customers on or before 31st of December 2014 and 70% on or before 30th March 2015. All DMBs are required to fully integrate their core banking system latest 31st October 2014 to ease the enrollment process. All new loans must have the BVN as a condition precedent to draw down with effect from 3rd November 2014. All credit customers must have BVNs by 31st December 2014. Where an existing customer wishes to do a change of name after his or her enrollment on the BVN, due diligence should be exercised and appropriate legal documents obtained before the change is effected. The Raw Materials Research and Development Council has said fruit juice concentrates importation was costing Nigeria 165 billion naira annually. The Director General, Raw Materials Research and Development Council, Hussein Ibrahim, has said this at a workshop organized by the Raw Materials Research and Development Council in collaboration with the Kaduna Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, with the theme Post-Harvest Management, Value Chain Financing. According to him, importation of concentrates was adversely affecting the development of local fruits cultivation for juice processing, and that manufacturers should look inwards and manage its resources. Total has named the executives to replace Christopher Do Marjorie, the executive chairman who died in a plane crash in Moscow on Monday. Head of refining Patrick Poyene is chief executive. Former chief executive Thierry Desmarais is chairman. Desmarais would retire at the end of 2015, after which the roles of chief executive and chairman would be recombined. Desmarais would help mentor Poyene in his role until he took over as executive chairman. Marjorie died along with crew members after a private jet hit a snow plow on the airport runway. Total is France's oil's second biggest list company. The Naira fell almost 1% to an 8-month intraday low of 166 Naira 90 kobo shortly after the interbank market opened on Wednesday, driven by dollar shortage. Dealers say this was due to lack of central bank intervention in the market to support the Naira since last week. Equity transactions on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange on Wednesday ended on a positive note. The all-share index increased by 0.87% to close at 38,113.62 basis points. Market capitalization appreciated and closes in the same manner at the 12.9 trillion naira. In all, a total of 193.2 million shares valued at 2.66 billion naira were exchanged in 4,302 deals. Report shows that Guinness topped the gainers chart, followed by Nestle, Dangote Cement, Nigerian Breweries, and Eco Transnational Incorporated and Owando. On the downside, Unilever topped the chart, followed by PZ, Forte Oil, WAPCO, and Axis Bank. Meanwhile, here are the top 5 trades. And now to sport. Edwin Okon's ladies have sealed a place in final of the AWC as well as the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup in Canada after a hard-fought win over arch rivals Bayana. Nigeria defeated South Africa 2-1 in the first semi-final of the 9th African Women Championship game played at the Sam Nujoma Stadium in Windhoek, Namibia. A first-half brace from youth prodigy Azizat Ashola blew away the Bayana, who launched a comeback in the second half, courtesy of a controversial strike from midfielder Refilo Jane. With this win, Nigeria will now face the winner of the other semi-final match between Cameroon and Cote d'Ivoire in the final of the competition. The Confederation of African Football (CAF) has slammed UEFA President Michael Platini for giving his opinion on whether the Africa Cup of Nations (AFCON) should be called off over Ebola fears. The UEFA president suggested CAF speaks with the World Health Organization about whether it is safe to host the 2015 tournament because of the threat of Ebola. During a televised debate on Sunday, the Frenchman questioned whether the tournament, scheduled to be held between January 17 and February 8 next year, should be postponed due to the outbreak of the virus in West Africa. However, CAF yet to confirm where the tournament will be held after a planned hosts Morocco requested a postponement, has urged Platini to concentrate on his own affairs. CAF then took an opportunity to bite back at UEFA, firing veiled criticism of Europe's football governing body for not banning Ukrainian teams from its tournaments following military action in the Eastern European nation. Simona Halep secured her first ever win over Serena Williams in style with a 6-0-6-2 dismantling of the world #1 in Singapore. Halep played in moving her opponent back and around Singapore's purple indoor hard court. The 33-year-old American only had herself to blame for the defeat after her serve fell apart and the errors flowed. The loss halted the double defending champions' winning streak at the season-ending event at 16 matches and leaves her needing to beat Eugene Bouchard, who plays Anna Ivanovic later on Wednesday, to make it through to the last four from the red group. Williams gave no indication of the struggles that awaited her as she boomed down an ace to start the match between the two players, who were impressive in claiming straight set victories in their opening red group matches. Britain's Chris Froome said he may not compete in the 2015 Tour de France as the route was unveiled on Wednesday. Team Sky's 2013 winner, who crashed out this year, may instead ride in the current champion Vincenzo Nibali, and Spain's Alberto Contador will start as favorite over a tough course. High winds, cobbles, and a penultimate stage on L'Alpe d'Huez will feature in the 102nd edition of the Tour, raced over 3 weeks from 4 to 26 July and starting in the Netherlands city of Utrecht. And now to other stories outside Nigeria. The U.S. Defense Department has said it is examining Islamic State video appearing to show militants in control of U.S. weapons intended for Syrian Kurdish fighters. Some 27 bundles containing small arms, ammunition, and other weaponry were dropped on Monday for militias defending the town of Kobani from ISIS militants. A Pentagon spokesman says the vast majority ended up in the right hands. Kurdish forces control most of the town, but it remains a threat. Militants had earlier launched a fierce attack on all fronts in Kobani after 2 days of relative calm when the town's defenders appeared to have pushed them back. Pentagon spokesman John Kirby said ISIS militants had been kept at bay by a combination of U.S.-led airstrikes and efforts of the Kurdish forces. The British-based Syrian Observatory for Human Rights says that 30 ISIS fighters and 11 Kurdish defenders were killed on Tuesday, adding that the Islamists were bringing reinforcement. Kobani, on the Turkish border, has been under assault from ISIS for weeks, with most civilians forced to leave. And just before we close the show, here is a wrap-up of the stories that made our headlines. APC governors under the aegis of Progressives Governors Forum met in Ilorin and backed consensus candidacy. Kano State Governor Rabiu Kwankwaso vowed not to step down from his presidential bid, warned APC over consensus candidacy. Nigerian police took stock of armory as insecurity mounts. And that's been the show tonight. On behalf of our entire news crew, I am Ebulomo Adekunle, wishing you a wonderful night rest.